The trade proposal between the Clippers and the Suns is a crazy one to me. It's very crazy because here's another situation where the Clippers will be giving up a lot of their assets, possibly or potentially, for a player like this guy. And the guy I'm talking about is right here, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton is a good player. We all know he has a good upside. We all know he's a, solid big man, and his future's bright in the NBA. But the only problem with DeAndre Ayton is his motor doesn't run that high, which means like he needs to be pushed to swing. He's not the type where he's a self-starter. He's a type where you got to really push him and motivate him and, get him going and, take time out to get the best out of him. And that's not what NBA coaches have time for. You are getting paid millions of dollars. You are in this league for a reason. You are one of the top players in basketball in the world, making it to the NBA for a reason. You've got to go out there and show it. And the thing with DeAndre Ayton is, he shows it in spurts at times, but he's just not really a dog like some players in the NBA. Some players you look at, you could tell they just got that dog mentality, the ones that will help you win a championship. Guys like that goes a long way in the NBA with that mentality of no fear and fearless. Whereas DeAndre Ayton, he plays like that at times, but then there's a lot of times where he plays where he's not motivated. He plays like he's uninterested, and he plays like he doesn't want to be in the position that he's in on the Phoenix Suns. And it might have a lot to do with Monty Williams when he was there, but even still, it was still a negative on his resume so far since he's been in the NBA. And that's the, word about him going around the NBA. So my thing is, here's another trade proposal where the Clippers, as they would trade, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, I think Jason Preston, and Amir Coffey, I think was the other name that was brought up for DeAndre Ayton. I don't really think that's worth it. I really don't. I'm not trading Rocco. Maybe Marcus Morris, yeah, of course, maybe. But I don't even know if the Marcus Morris trade is worth it because I'm like I said, if you want to add Marcus Morris, Jason Preston, and Amir Coffey, I'm fine with that. But I'm not fine with the Rocco. I'm not fine with Robert Covington because Robert Covington is a Swiss Army knife type player. The Clippers are going to need a player like him to win a championship, especially, when you hear proposals about them with the Sixers trying to get James Harden. If they go after James Harden and land him, they're going to have to give up some other pieces that are valuable. Now, the names I heard about that, of course, is Terrence Mann, Norman Powell. See, now you're getting into the depth of the team that makes them unique. Those are the pieces that makes the Clippers so elite as a team all the way around in regards to being well-rounded, a balanced offense. You're taking away a lot of what you have, and you're taking away a lot of defense too, because Terrence Mann, I mean, that would be, a lot, and Norman Powell, that's a whole lot right there. And then you think about this potential trade for DeAndre Ayton, they'd be giving up two major pieces. Well, I'm not going to say major because Marcus Morris is not the player he once was, or a lot of people think that he should be for the Clippers. But Rocco is definitely not an option to me. I think he's the type of player the Clippers are going to need to win, and I think he's the type of player the Clippers are going to need to keep on his roster, for them to be successful, of course. So I personally think they need to keep Robert Covington. You can let go of Marcus Morris, Jason Preston, and Amir Coffey. I'm okay with that, but not Robert Covington. I don't think that's right for DeAndre Ayton, somebody who plays half-ass sometime, and then sometime, he plays with the right mentality. And he's just not, to me, DeAndre Ayton is not physical enough. He's very finesse-like. That's almost like what they have in Zubac. And matter of fact, I think Zubac's name is a part of that trade too, if I'm not mistaken, for DeAndre Ayton as well. So, I mean, but like I said, they got Zubac for that. Zubac has got good footwork. He's finesse. He's got good touch around the rim. He's kind of, he got good hands around the rim. He's a good big man. He's solid. He's all that. So really, they don't really even need somebody like DeAndre Ayton. They would need somebody, if they're going after a trade, to me, they need to go after a big man who's a little bit more physical, a little bit more dominant, and who has a little bit more of a dominant mindset. Because when I think about Zubac, has good footwork and all those things. But the one thing Zubac lacks at times to me when I watch him play is a dominant mindset, because he's very, good hands around the rim, good touch, good soft skills, around the rim, good footwork, very, very, unique in that type way for a big man. But that dog mentality, that dominant mentality, not every player possesses that. And see, this is what I'm saying. The Clippers trade for DeAndre Ayton, they're basically going to have a little bit, somewhat of the same player as Zubac. Now, of course, he's a little bit more athletic than Zubac, but it doesn't matter if he doesn't utilize his size. It doesn't matter if DeAndre Ayton doesn't play with that dominant mentality, in which he doesn't. So because he doesn't play with a dominant mentality, the Clippers might as well just keep Zubac in what they have and don't even try to waste time on listening to this or entertaining this proposal by the Suns, because it's really only going to make, the Suns better if they have more depth on their team, because really when you think about the Suns, they're top heavy. They're a top heavy team. So if they give away a player like DeAndre Ayton, they already got like a big three over there. So if you give them several of your pieces, or that helped you, that makes you a unique team, then that makes them even better with the 3-star players that they have on the roster now. And the Clippers got to understand one thing. You got to stop making other teams better. You got to look after yourself. You got to make your team better. Your team is number one. Your team is the team that's in the forefront that can win a championship. Don't solicit or give away your talent, your depth, your everything on your team to other teams to make them better. No, you only make a trade for something that's very reasonable, that you don't have to give much back for, and that you can gain from, because this is supposed to be the Clippers era to win a championship, not to basically make other teams better and take their scraps. No, the Clippers don't need to do that. DeAndre Ayton is scraps for the Phoenix Suns, because he is not a guy that they trust. He is not a guy that they look at as in like, okay, we can give the franchise to him. No, they don't do that. They don't even look at him in that way. I mean, they try to trade him the last 3-4 seasons, last 2 or 3 seasons. So from what I could see, obviously they don't think much of him in regards to the future. So it's like, when you think about that in totality, the Clippers need to scale back on this one. I don't really think it's worth it. I don't really think, going after DeAndre Ayton is going to really make them exponentially better. I think a lot of things DeAndre Ayton does well, Ivica Zubac does well. So, it's like, you hit or miss there. But like I said, you might as well just stick with what you have and kind of just go elsewhere, because I think the Clippers can, get a better proposal trade rather than this one. But hey, leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk about it.